After almost 2 years being closed, the studio showcase building at Warner Bros. Movie World has finally been stripped away of all the branding and advertisements for the Batman Legacy exhibition, which raises the question, what the heck is happening? I asked for your thoughts and opinions on social media and received some interesting thoughts. But first, for a little background information for those of you who aren't familiar with this. The Warner Bros. Studio Showcase was an exhibition located towards the back of the park, where guests were able to see props and costumes from various Warner Bros. Films, including Aquaman, Mad Max, Fury Road, and in the final version, Batman Legacy, props and costumes from various Batman films. This closed almost 2 years ago, and since then, the Batman Legacy poster remained outside the front of the showcase, and it was unclear what the heck was happening. And that brings us up to now, where it's still unclear what the heck is happening, but at least it's a visible sign of progress. What the heck is happening? Will Gates says, a Scooby-Doo 2002 museum. Ooh, honestly, I love that idea. That's such a cool concept, especially since Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster is right next door. It would be awesome if you could get off the ride and immediately go into an exhibition with different props and costumes and things from the actual film. Travelogue Shiv says, Harry Potter exhibition. That's another really cool idea. The park actually did used to have a Harry Potter attraction back in the day, which was really cool. I feel like that would be such a great addition to the park. I would love to see the inclusion of more movie-related stuff to give more of a feeling that you're sort of on the back lot, getting an insight into the behind-the-scenes process that goes into making films. Carla and Z75 says, hopefully a dark ride where they utilize this and the Doomsday Precinct to something fun. 100%, I definitely think Movie World is in dire need of a dark ride. And you can't say Justice League is a dark ride, Mr. YumYum, because Justice League sucks. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan. I think what Australia needs is a really high-quality immersive dark ride with world-class theming. Something to give redemption to the Looney Tunes River Ride. There's a lot of different things they could theme it to. My personal bet would be a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory themed dark ride. I think it's the perfect sort of story concept for a trackless dark ride where there's different routes that you can go on throughout the experience. As for the Doomsday Precinct, yeah, that's definitely needing some TLC. That's been similarly sitting dormant for a long time now since Doomsday Destroyer mysteriously vanished. I must say they've been keeping it in relatively good condition. They've been touching up the paint, keeping the music on, the effects are working sometimes. So it seems like they do have a plan, or at least a vague direction for this area. So hopefully we see some updates on this soon. Ozthrill says, honestly, as long as nobody pockets the money themselves, it'll be a win. Ooh, yeah, that's a different piece of news. For those of you out of the loop, there's been a bit of controversy because there's a scandal going on at Village Roadshow theme parks. Executives have been caught with their hand in the cookie jar, so to speak, embezzling funds, using company funds, manipulating expenditure for their own gain, and the company's lost at least $1 million, which is pretty bad. I don't think I need to explain why embezzlement is not a great idea. So yeah, hopefully any money towards future editions isn't going into the executive's back pockets. Xenomorphy says, bring back the Looney Tunes Dark Ride. Yay, we've got another Looney Tunes River Ride fan. I'm sure there's more. It's a very, very popular attraction. It was a sort of core memory for a lot of people growing up, myself included. And honestly, it was such a world-class attraction. It was really innovative and immersive and unique. It's weird the park has gone backwards in many ways in terms of these innovative attractions. And when they do sort of innovate with something, it's usually in the record-breaking department. They want the tallest, biggest, longest, fastest, or whatever. But there's an ancient proverb, it's not the size that matters, it's what you do with it. I think the same applies to theme park attractions. It's all well and good having a record-breaking attraction, but if it's not interesting, then what's the point? I'd much prefer a highly immersive attraction with storyline and great theming that sweeps you away to a different world. A few people think that nothing's really gonna happen. It's Movie World to nothing. Other people say it's just been a storage room, so honestly that kind of tracks for Movie World. And speaking of the Looney Tunes River Ride, the show building for that, half of that is now used for storage, so that seems to be a trend. They love to use areas of the park to store stuff. How much stuff do they have to store? Is this something to do with the embezzling? Is this where they hide all the stolen money? I'm sorry, that's dark. I'm sorry to any executives and embezzlers that I offended. Henry Hawley123 says a Wild West themed restaurant similar to Jane's Rivertown. That's a really cool concept as well, and while I really love the idea, I kind of struggle to see a movie world adding another themed restaurant anytime soon, especially since the Stars Terrace restaurant building recently opened. But I would love something else in the Wild West Falls area, something to breathe some life into it, because obviously you have Wild West Falls, which is a great ride, but outside of that, it's a bit of a ghost town. There's not really any characters or anything going on. So the idea of using that space for something Wild West themed would be really cool. I'd love some kind of show or something. I think that would be really neat. YouTube comments. It's still recording. Yeah, it's still recording, man. What the heck is happening? The Real Generic Smile says, I think it will be for the Wizard of Oz, which would be really cool, and it makes sense with the pretty new Wizard of Oz land. That's another interesting idea. I mean, the Wizard of Oz precinct did recently open. It could sort of fill the gap for another showcase style attraction. I'd love to see some behind the scenes props and things from the Wizard of Oz, but considering it's such a legacy film and part of Warner Brothers history, I'm not sure how, liberal they would be with shifting over a lot of props and things to Movie World. But I think that's a cool idea as well. Perth Theme Park Life says, show, hopefully they're bringing Maverick back. That sort of loops back into the idea earlier that someone else mentioned about having a Wild West themed edition, which I really love the idea of. I think a show like that would be fantastic. And I'm not too familiar with the history of Maverick at Movie World. From my understanding, I think it was another stunt show or some kind of show at least, which looks really cool in footage that I have seen of it. I don't remember seeing it myself, maybe I was not quite sentient yet, but people have a real affinity for cowboys. I think some kind of show themed around that would be perfect. Coaster Blocks 3420 says, just like the plaza which hosted Doomsday Destroyer, nothing. They will replace it with nothing. It definitely feels like people have a wish list and some ideas about what they would want to be there. But I think for the most part we sort of all kind of aren't really expecting much. It would be cool if they did put something there, but honestly, I don't think they're going to. And last but not least, we've got Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage himself, the actor, he stopped by, he took a break from his busy schedule of acting in like 50 movies a year to comment on my YouTube community post. He's a pretty credible source. He's in the industry himself. He's a big Hollywood player, so I think he knows what he's talking about. He says, the showcase building is unsuitable due to age and flood damage, currently used as a storage space, yet everyone expects it to be some secret project. Best to accept it's not currently part of the park worth focusing on as a guest. That's definitely something I didn't really take into account. The building is probably quite old, and I don't know anything about the ins and out at Movie World, but there's a chance that there's some kind of damage there, which would make sense that they would have to close down the Batman Legacy showcase attraction and the studio showcase full stop, because obviously you don't want the clothes and things from movies getting all damp and dusty and moldy and stuff. Thank you so much to everyone who left your comments and thoughts. It was a lot of fun reading your ideas, and there were some really cool ones there. If you would like to be a part of future discussions, make sure to follow me on Instagram, which is where I'm most active on social media, and I do post as well on YouTube communities. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, a friendly comment, or subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to Team YumYum for supporting my content. A big thank you to the members and sponsors. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.